Liam, you have one for me? Liam? You don't have one for me? All right. Who next? Sammy, you have one for me? A song?
No.
Nope. Sophia, you have a song for me?
No.
Matthias and Malachi, you all have a song for me? Okay.
Sing.
All right. Sing. 3, 4. Go ahead. Sing. Somebody's here. And I know it is somebody here. And I know it's the Lord. Sing. Somebody. And I know it is somebody's here.
And I know it's the
Lord is I can feel it in my soul. The Lord is
mine.
Lord is mine. I can feel it all over me. All right, very good. Okay, the last time we had devotion, we had the good kings and the bad kings. So you could tell me some of the names of the kings that I talked about the last time. That was a while now. Good kings and the bad kings. Any one of them. You all can remember any one of them.
Rehoboam.
I sound watching it just now, I'll tell you. It is not, it wasn't Jehobeam, it was Joshua.
Joshua was my king.
Well, we had Manasseh. Remember Manasseh? He did idol worshiping, and when he suffered in Babylon, then he pleaded to the Lord, and the Lord returned him back to be a king. Right? Okay, so let me give you what the bad kings did and what the good kings did. Seeing that you all cannot remember the kings. What did they do to be bad? Sana.
They captured other kings.
They captured other kings. We're talking about the kings who was ruling over Israel, right? After Solomon, we had a whole set of kings, but they were bad kings. What did they do bad? Yes, Malachi, Alexander.
I think they worshipped idols.
Yes, they were worshiping idols, and they were killing their young ones, and they were doing bad things, right? Yes, Matthias, I see a hand up. You want to say something?
Forgot about God.
They forgot the main thing. They forgot about God, right? And they were doing their own things. Yes, Layla.
And they were even given the old children as offerings to the idols.
Right, and they was giving their own children offering to the idols. But what did the good kings did? Could anybody tell me what this the good kings did? Yes, Sammy.
They worship God.
Yes, the good kings worship God, right? So we had a whole set of different kings, good kings and bad kings after Solomon. Now the story we're going to do today is the man of fire. You have it, Jerome? All right. So he's going to put it up. We're going to see it, the man of fire. All right.
Yeah, 1 second now.
Okay.
It's
The Bible story, this Bible story will tell us about our wonderful God who had made us and who wants us to know him. God knows we have done bad things, which he calls sin. The punishment for sin is death. But God loved us so much, he sent his son Jesus to die on the cross and be punished for our sin. Then Jesus came back to life and went home to heaven. If you believe in Jesus and ask him to forgive your sin, just out the room, he will do it and he will come and live in you now and you will live with him forever. And if you want to turn from sin, say to this to God, dear God, I believe that Jesus died for me and now live again. Please come into my life and forgive my sins so that I can have new life now and one day to be with you forever. All right, so let's go into the story. All right, the man of fire. Everything looked bad for Israel. The king and queen hated God. What a bad example. Soon, the people also hated God and worshiped false gods. Did anybody love God? Yes, there were a few faithful worshippers. And one day, God spoke to one of them, Elijah. Elijah told wicked King Ahab, as the Lord God of Israel lives, there shall not be dew nor rain these years, except at my words. This meant famine. God could not let his people Israel go on in their wickedness. And after warning the king, God sent Elijah to a quiet place in the country. There by a brook, Elijah waited. God sent ravens to feed him. They brought bread and meat morning and evening, and Elijah drank from the brook. Soon the brook dried up because there had been no rain in the land. God's word was true, was coming true. The whole country was short of water. The crops didn't grow. People were hungry. Perhaps Elijah wondered what would happen to him now that the water was gone. God told Elijah, arise, go to Zarephath and dwell there. See, I have commanded a widow to provide for you. God knew his servant's need, but what strange way to provide. Humble Elijah obeyed God. When he got to Zarephath, the widow was at the city gates gathering stick for firewood. Please bring me a little water in a cup, Elijah asked the widow. Please bring me a morsel of bread. I do not have bread, the widow answered. Only a handful of flour in a bin and a little oil in a jar. Sadly, the lady told the prophet that when this was finished, she and her son would starve to death. Do not fear. Make me a small cake from it first, and afterwards make some for yourself and your son. Elijah said, the flour will not be used up, nor the oil, until the day the Lord sent rain on the earth. God would have to work a miracle for that to happen, and he did. The lady and her son ate for many days, yet the bin of the flour was not used up, nor did the jar of oil run dry. Elijah lived with them. One day a sad thing happened. The widow's son died. Elijah carried the boy's body to an upper room. He cried out to the Lord, saying, "Oh Lord, my God, I pray, let this child's soul come back to him." What an impossible prayer. The Lord heard the voice of Elijah, and the soul of the child came back to him, and he revived. When Elijah took the child and gave him to his mother, she said, "Now, by this I know that the word of the Lord in your mouth is the truth." 3 years later, God sent Elijah back to the king, saying, "I will send rain on the earth." Go to Ahab. His wife Jezebel had already murdered 100 prophets of God, but Elijah didn't argue. He went to King Ahab. When the two men met, Elijah challenged Ahab to gather all Israel and 850 false prophets in a place called Mount Carmel. Elijah spoke to the people, "If the Lord is God, follow him." Elijah had 2 bulls prepared as sacrifice, but no fire was to be used to light them. "You call on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord," he said. "And the God who answered by fire, he is God." "It is well spoken," the people answer. From morning to evening, the false prophet called upon their false god. They leaped and danced, and they cut themselves with knives until they bled, but no fire came. Then Elijah soaked the wood and sacrificed with water and prayed, "O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that you are the Lord God." Then the fire of the Lord fell. It burned up the bull and the wood. Then it burned up the stone altar. When the people saw it, they cried, "The Lord, he is God." And Elijah said, "Seize the prophets of Baal. Do not let one of them escape." And Elijah did what King Ahab should have done long before. He killed the false prophets. Then God's servant told Ahab that rain was on the way. Soon a small cloud appeared. Would there be rain after more than 3 years of deadly drought? In a little while, the sky became black with clouds and winds, and there was a heavy rain. And God sent the rain. God showed the people that Elijah was telling them the truth. God showed that he alone is the true God. Do you think King Ahab honored God and his servant Elijah? No, in fact, Jezebel tried to kill Elijah, but he got away. In the end, Elijah died in battle, and in the end, Ahab, died in battle, and servants pushed Jezebel off a high wall in the palace. She crashed to her death on the stone below. Sorry. What happened to Elijah? One day, God sent a chariot of fire with horses of fire, and Elijah, God man of fire, went up by a whirlwind into heaven. All right, and that is the end. So Elijah relied on God, right? And he did a great thing to the people of Israel, Right? Although they had drought for 3 years and the people were suffering for 3 years, don't have any water coming anywhere. Rain wasn't falling, right? And they had a drought. Good. And Jezebel killed all of the prophets except Elijah. Right? God still come true for them at the end. He helped the widow eat for how much days, and also he helped the widow's son, right? Because he had passed away, and by Elijah praying, good, the son came back to life. Good. So all of this happened with Elijah. Good. So we did Elijah for our Liam was the Elijah and Shanice was the widow. And we're going to see that on our uniform day, which is on the 7th. We're going to see how they act it out. Okay. I think they did great, but we're going to see how it is come out, right? Good. So we did this story, which is the first part of the story. We didn't do the second part of the story, but we did the first part of the story where Elijah had told the king, well, I don't think we showed that part, but we showed how it was a drought, and that's with the widow, with the oil and the water. I mean, and the oil and the flour, sorry. Yeah. All right. So we're going to see that on the 7th, which is next week. That is next Sabbath coming, next Sabbath. All right.
Week after.
Isn't that, Andy?
Week after.
Oh, week after?
Yeah, well,
How long?
yeah.
2 weeks ago? I thought it was just one.
Yeah, we have to.
Oh my, I will say, oh gosh, I'm getting up myself to watch it next Sabbath. Oh yes, oh my. All right, okay. 2 more weeks to go. All right. Okay, so let's continue. So let's stand for prayer attention, and let me see who's here today. Okay, Liam, you're going to do the pledge. Shanice is going to do the law. Both of all in the same class, yeah. And Sana is going to do the song. All right. So attention. Go ahead, Liam.
Avenger pledge. 3, 4.
Present arms.
Present arms.
Right. Next side, Liam. Next side. Right. Very good. Go ahead.
Avenger pledge. 3, 4. Because Jesus loves me, I will always do my best. My best. All the arms.
Is Shanice around? All right, so we need to continue. All right, Malachi Manswell, do the law for me, please.
Jesus wants me to be obedient. Jesus wants me to be obedient,
Okay.
pure, be true, kind, be helpful, respectful, attentive, be
All right. Malachi and Mansell, help her, please.
Be obedient, be pure,
Yes.
be true,
True.
be
Be kind. Be respectful. Be attentive. Be helpful. Be cheerful. Be thoughtful. Be reverent.
All right, very good. Go ahead, Sana.
3, 4. We
We
are
are adventurers.
we are
Learning every day. To be like Jesus, true and true. We are adventurers.
And school life, we are
We are adventurers. We're learning every day to be honest, kind, and true.
All right, very good. At least. All right, so I'm handing you all over to Jerome.
Okay, all right. So it's been a little while. We had a lot of other things going on. We may not have been, we may not have had much meetings lately, but of course we were heavily involved in our uniform day, right? As I hope you all saw the announcement today, right? So it's officially on. Thanks again to all of you all for participating and doing so much and so well. And thank you for the parents, of course, for allowing us the time and the opportunity to make this thing happen. All right, so we still have some other things to do, right? And I'll let, well, as the week progresses, you all will know. Okay, so today, back to our regular schedule, right? And can anyone tell me what section of the book we are on? Anyone? What section of the book we are on? Our activity books.
Myself?
No, we passed that.
We are back in time. Anyone else? Anyone else could tell me? All right, so we are on My Will, okay? We are on the My Will section of the book. So we would have already completed a lot of it, right? Section 1 and section 2, and all the books would have been completed. So we come to the final section today. And today we'll be looking at the 2 awards. That is one for the BZB, right? And the other one is for the Sunbeam, right? And the builders would have completed their own 2 weeks ago. And you all remember what we did? You all remember what we did for the builders? Where are all the builders at? You all remember what we did to complete that section of the award, of the book? Sorry.
to all the friends.
Yes, but what did we do? We did a very special activity. Anyone could remember?
We get to know your Saint Lucia.
St. Lucia? Yes, we agree that it was St. Lucia.
Barbados.
Barbados, yes. All right, so yes, we would have met another club, and it was the Moriah Club in Barbados. Okay, so we are moving on today, and we're going to do 2 nature-based. As part of My Will, we are going to do two nature-based awards. And let me give you all your pages. BZB. Sorry. Yes. Malachi, yeah, I'm seeing your hand. You have a question?
Yes, sir.
Malachi Alexander, sorry.
Layla and me were missing out. We not even on my world.
So we have some catching up to do. We have some catching up to do for sure. All right. Okay, so that is Malachi Alexander and Matthias, right? BZB, y'all will be on page 35, right? And we'll be looking at the World of Nature, right? World of Nature Award for the BZB. And for the Sunbeam, I think we only have one Sunbeam here today. We'll be on page 35 as well. That's World of Nature. All right. And we'll be doing Friend of Animals for BZB and Friend of Nature for Sunbeam. All right. So both of you on page 35. And everyone else, of course, we have some games to play and everyone has some activities to participate in. So even though we'll be focusing on Nature Awards, there's a lot to learn for everyone else and builders as well. Builders as well, you all would have had your opportunity 2 weeks ago. All right. So builders, you all should actually be completed, right? Yeah.
All right. I know for sure Samuel is finished.
Yes.
Builders will have to do the box. Sammy, where are you? Show yourself. All right. Builders would have, where the little cube, show the little cube that you did. Well, Sammy went ahead. All right. You have the cube, Sammy? And Layla was by me. So she did her, right. So Sammy did the cube. You seen the cube thing? I think that's the last thing Bella's supposed to do in their book there. Layla showed them the what we did for the eyes in Not My World. Right. So she built that. I didn't build it. She built that. That is for the spending and the tight and the thing. She built that. Right. Sammy also did. I know Sammy is totally finished because he did his own thing, his own box, but he will get to do something what Layla did. But he also did for the slogan, right? For the health, the slogan, he did his own thing too. Sammy, if you have it, show them it too. Right? So builders have their things to do. Right? I had checked out Sammy book. So I know Sammy is completed. Right? I will check the others. I will go around, check around. I see Sana is showing her stuff. Very well, Sana. Very good. Right? Good. I will check. We will check. We will come around and check. Right? And to make sure that how the books is completed. And when the books is completed, I will take it. Okay? All right. So go ahead. Well, I'm going to show, this is what the BZB will be doing, the stuffed animal. I will drop it off for Matthias and Nathaniel. Oh, look, Sam, he's showing his poster that he did, the drug poster that he did. Watch it well, Liam and Mayaka and Layla, Sophia and Shanice. All right, he did his own poster stories, which is good. All these they all need to do. All right, Malachi, show them the face mask that you made. That is in BZB. All right, he did King David. Right.
Very good.
As a face mask that he did, King David. Right. So, right. So Matthias I will drop it off for you and you will do your own face mask. All right? Good. And that
Okay,
right?
guys, thank you. Anyways,
Right? Good. So y'all could do your own stuff. I will drop it off for y'all sometime this week here. All right. So go ahead. Go
All
ahead.
right.
Mhm.
Okay, so so let me pull up the presentation we're about to start. All right. All right, so y'all can see the presentation there.
No.
Not yet. Y'all see my screen? Yeah? All right, great. All right, so as I mentioned before, we are doing my will, right? And today, right, we are on to, right? So we would have done, let me just go back for a second. So we would have already completed good friend, right? Here, the caring friend and stuff. We'll have done the church worker stuff. We'll have done courtesy. We'll have done a good nature and good neighbor. So all that's left is world of animals and the friend of nature. Friend of animals. Right, so BZB, y'all are on page 35. Sorry, I'm having some hold on one second. Right, so let's go. So let me see the hands of all of y'all who have pets. All who has a pet. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Malachi, Alexander, you don't have a pet? Not right now?
We used to have a fish, but no, not right now.
All right, no problem. So you will have a different activity to do, all right? And I'm going to run through the requirements of the award first, right? This is the friend of animals. So you are required to take care of a pet for 4 weeks, feed it, and be certain it has fresh water. Brush your pet, give it a bath, and clean its resting place. So what I would like is for Matthias Manswell to tell us, how do you take care? Well, first of all, what type of pet you have, pet or pets, and how do you take care of your pet?
a cat and a dog.
How do you take care of your pets?
I feed them, wash them, brush their teeth.
Oh, nice. Right? Okay, and what else? That's all you do?
Yes.
Yes.
So you don't play with them?
I play with them usually.
Right. So
Sometimes they don't used to get on.
and I can tell you all they have a very nice cat. Dog it was a little barky, but the cat is very nice, right? So yes, they have a cat and a dog. And so this requirement here, right? You would have Malachi, you would have Matthias, sorry, you would have you could tick this one. Number one, you could tick it already because you own a pet. All right. So you could tick it because you would have done everything on the requirement there. But Malachi Alexander, right? This is what you will have to do. So you'll have to put out some scraps or seeds for birds or animals in your neighborhood or school. So do you have any birds or any stray animals, or not necessarily a stray, but maybe neighbor cat comes over or anything like that? Do you have anything like that in your neighborhood?
Not really.
Nothing at all? All right, so...
But
so
he has a neighbor with a dog.
What a dog, okay.
Her name is Auntie Shani.
All right. Okay, well,
Auntie Chanel.
all right. Okay, well, what you can do is put some bread, right? Put some bread outside, just a few scraps of bread, right? And then you have to watch it and observe it and see if any birds or any other animal or creature comes and eats the bread, right? When you see anyone that you see, you could either snap a picture of it or you can draw a picture of it, right? So it's identify creatures that eat scraps. And then you either draw or snap a picture. All right, and when that is done, you would have completed the Friend of Animals award. All right, simple enough.
I got it.
Yeah, all right. So that's not the number one requirement there. All right. So anyone else want to tell us about their pets? Anyone else? All right, I see Sana's hand go up quickly. All right, Sana, tell us about your pet.
My pet Bella is very playful. She really likes to play with me. We go outside and we let her loose in the backyard.
All right. All right, anyone else? Anyone has a pet that they want to tell us about? No one else has a pet? All right. Okay, so right, so that's this first section here. All right, so let's go over to the presentation. How do you care for your animals? How exactly do you care for animals? Right now, who made the animals? Can you all tell me who made the animals? Anyone can tell me? So since God made the animals, right? Since God made the animals, how are we supposed to treat them?
By being nicely.
Right? We're supposed to be kind, right? And one of our one of the parts of the law, right? One of the parts of the law, one of the things that Jesus wants us to be is kind. And kind also means kind, being kind to animals, right? If you choose to have that. Okay, so what exactly do pets need? What do pets need? While different species will have different needs, there are certain things that all pets need in order to thrive. A protected and clean living environment is one of the most important things for a pet to have. Ensure that any bedding is changed or cleaned regularly and that any enclosures are properly sized for the animal as well as secure. So let's say you have a dog house. You need to ensure that your dog house has enough space so that your dog can be comfortable. All right? Or some people have cat houses as well. But those cats live inside usually. All right? Food and water. So who likes food and water here? Let me see the hands of those who like food and water. Right? So just like how humans need food and water, animals as well need plenty food and clean water. Right? So food is just as important for pets as it is for people. In fact, feeding your pet a high quality diet can maintain its overall health and prevent costly trips to the vet later in life. Right? If your pet is overweight, work with your vet to help them lose weight. Of course, just like humans need exercise, pets also need exercise, right? So they need to run, They need to play to ensure that they maintain their weight. Ensure your pet has access to adequate fresh food on a daily basis, and be sure to wash the food bowl regularly. Water is essential for our pets, and having access to a constant supply of clean, fresh water is one of the best ways to take care of your pet. Be sure to wash the water dish regularly. Exercise. So we just spoke about exercise. Just like how humans need exercise, pets need exercise as well, right? So it's another key component for caring for your pet properly. This could mean regular walks, playing with toys, time outside the enclosure, or engaging in puzzles and games. Be sure to inspect toys regularly for damage and deterioration and replace when necessary. So you don't want to have the toys there too long, right? Health and dental care. Taking care of a pet also means taking it for veterinary care, not only when they become ill, but for preventative care as well. At a minimum, pets should see a vet or on an annual basis for routine wellness checkups and any vaccinations, right? So just like sometimes humans need vaccinations, pets also need some vaccinations as well to ensure that they don't get certain diseases. As they get older, dental care will become important. You might not consider it, but love is another important aspect of caring for your pet. In order to thrive and connect with their owners, pets need gentle, respectful handling and to actually spend quality time with you. So just like Sana plays with her puppy, her dog, Bella, right? You have to play and love your animal because that will actually help them to be happy. They can be sad as well, right? So our pets can be sad as well, right? And they need love just as much as we do. And grooming, right? So some pets require regular grooming in order to maintain their health. Trimming a dog's nails means that they can walk without pain, while clipping a bird's feathers ensure they won't be able to fly away should they escape from the safety of your home. And many other animals bathe themselves in some manner, but they might also require your assistance as they age or if they get particularly dirty, right? So that's where bathing comes involved, but also brushing, trimming of fur, etc. All these things will help to make sure that your animal and your pet remains healthy. All right, so that was it for caring for pets, right? And I'm going to switch back to the activities now. All right, so basically you all have your tasks, right? And the other thing, part 2, list creatures that live in your neighborhood. So basically, during this week, here's what I want you all to do. Observe outside, go and look outside and see all the animals that live in your neighborhood, right? So whether big or small, you can observe them. Maybe you have squirrels in your trees. Maybe you have some birds that come and land on your fence, right? You name it all in this section here. Yes, Malachi?
I only have cats, dogs, and birds in my neighborhood because I don't really have much animals.
All right. So you could look and see. If you could see somewhere, you could probably maybe in the night, right? You can sneak outside, see if there's any others, maybe some lizards, right? Maybe owls, right? So you could check and see. Matthias, yes?
I already did it.
You already did it. Great. All right. So that's number 2. All right. Moving along to number 3, right? And this number 3 here, match 10 animals with their houses. So there are different animals live in different houses, of course. And on top, the top part, so you see this bowl, right? These things here, right? Houses, etc. Right? You want to just, the animals will be down below here. You want to match them, right? So you're drawing a line, right? And I'll probably give you all one. So this dog here lives in this dog house here, right? So you just draw a line towards it, right? Just do that. And you match all. So it's 10 in all, and you have to match all. All right, Busy Bee?
Yes.
All right, great. Right, so apart from the other mask, there's also an animal mask that you are required to make, and Auntie Hester will give you all more information on that.
Well, the animal mask is something I will give them. They don't know how to make it. It's something I have, so I'll just give them that.
Okay, great. Right, so you have your animal masks will be coming soon, right?
Yeah, I'll just give them it.
Great.
Malachi already have his own, so.
Okay, nice.
Alexander have his own.
Malachi, and
The others, I will give them it.
Yeah, is it close by? You have it close by, Malachi?
Malachi, where the animal mask I give you? They just have to color it.
Oh, okay. All right. So so number 4.
I didn't color my mask yet, but it's here.
Right. So here I just had to color it.
So you'll see it there, right? Right. So this is how the animal mask will look. You color it up. That's a giraffe, I believe. Right. So you know the colors of a giraffe. That is.
Not everybody is getting a giraffe, though. Eh?
Right. Okay. All right. So so that's the requirement number 4, right? And in the beginning, Auntie Hester also would have shown you all the stuffed animal, right? Make a stuffed animal, describe how the animal would be cared for if it were real, or visit the zoo, right? Visit the zoo, museum, aviary, kennel, farmyard, pet shop. So let me see all those who would have gone to the zoo already. Anyone here have been to the zoo?
Have you went to the zoo? Of course, yes.
Okay.
And did you all see the giraffe?
Did you all see the giraffe? I did.
Yes.
Yeah, you all remember the giraffes?
Yep.
Great. So that is so most of you all would have gone to the zoo. So y'all could tick that one here, right? Anyone ever been to the bird sanctuary?
No.
I think so.
Yes, we did.
Right. So the aviary, number E there, aviary, is the bird sanctuary. Bird sanctuary is very similar to that, right? If you've been to either one of those, or museum, right? We have our museum in Port of Spain, or a pet shop. I'm sure most of you all have been to pet shops, right? Matthias, yes? Yes, Matthias?
I went to the petting zoo, if that counts.
Yes, that counts as well, right? So you just tick that one, number 6 there, right? And you also have to make your stuffed animal, right? So the first part of number 6, yeah, you will tick that one, right? All right, so final question for the BZB, final question, number 7. On what day of creation did God create the animal you cared for? All right. So some of y'all, this could be related to one, right? Or it could just be an animal you like. On what day of creation did God create the animal you cared for? BZB. Malachi, Alexander, or Matthias? On what day of creation did God create the animal you cared for?
I don't really remember. I think it's the 50th or the 4th.
All right, so I'll leave that for homework for y'all. I'll leave that for homework, and you'll figure it out. Yes, someone has, Matthias, you have answer for me? No? All right, so I'll leave it for homework for y'all, and you'll figure it out, right? Number 7, on what day?
6.
On day number 6? You're 100% sure? All right, well, write it down in your book. All right, so you all will answer that question. And that will be the end of the Well, not the end, but that will be all of the requirements. So we are going back up. We are going back up to number 5. Play an animal game. Play an animal game. And everyone can participate in this game. And we'll be doing it slightly different. So instead of raising your hand, we're going to raise your hand on screen. Right? So you all know how to do that? Everyone knows how to raise their hands?
What?
On the screen. Click
Yes.
raise hand. So let me see. Right? Okay.
Yes.
So I'm seeing.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I know how to do it. Right? Anyone else? Everyone else know how to do it?
Yes.
All right. So I'll be looking to see who can click the fastest. All right? When we play in this game. All right. So everyone hands down. Virtual hands down. Virtual. And we are going back. And name of the game is Name the Animal. Name the animal. So all you have to do is look at the animal, name it, right? Tell me what's the name of the animal, and then make the sound and tell me where it lives. That's how you get your point. All right? So you tell me what's the name of the animal, make the sound that it makes, and then tell me where it lives. Everyone ready? Everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so remember, you click and raise your hand. And I'll see who shows up on my screen first. All right, so we're ready for number 1. 1, 2, 3. Everybody clicking before I even turn the page. Hands down. All right. So I saw Leila and Malachi first. All right.
I wanted to go for
Either Leila or Malachi.
It's a bee and it goes. It's a bee and it goes. It's a bee. It goes bzz, and it lives in a hive. That's true.
All right. Very good. All right. Excellent. Okay, so hands down. Hands back down, all the hands. And moving on to the next one. All ready? And
Yep.
all right, so Leila and Malachi came up again first. On my screen at least.
It's a cow. It's a cow, and it goes moo, moo, and it lives in a farm.
A farm, all right. Okay, all right, okay, I'll accept it. Okay. Anyone else know where what's another name for where cows are? Or where they stay a lot of the time?
grassland.
What's that?
Grassland.
Grassland. Okay, what's another name for that?
A barn.
Barn. Yes, barn is one. Any other names?
Farm.
We heard farm already. Sana?
Some cows live in India.
All right. Yes, yes. All right. So they graze on what you call a pasture. Anyone ever heard the word pasture? Pasture or grasslands, as Sandra would have said. All right. So hands down. Unless somebody has another question for me. And oh, it didn't click. Okay. Sorry. All right, I saw Liam first this time. So Liam, what is this?
A fish. And it was no. And it lives in the
In the? Breaking up a little bit. Okay, I need to play. Alright, I'm not hearing you too clearly. Alright, so I'm seeing Safira. Let's take a chance, Safira. Safira hand is going.
Yeah.
Oh yes, go on.
it lives in the sea.
Oh, and how does a fish go? Anyone can tell me how a fish goes? What sound does a fish make? Yes, Leila? Leila is quite enthusiastic.
It goes like it makes a bubble.
All right, I'll accept it. Okay. All right, so we're moving on to the next one. All right, Samuel. I saw Samuel hand first. So Samuel, what is this animal here?
It is a dog
Hmm?
and it lives in a dog house.
All right. And what sound it makes?
Ruff, ruff.
Very good. All right, excellent. Okay, so Sana, yes?
Some dogs live in Africa. They have African wild dogs.
Wild dogs, yes. Yes. Yeah, wild dogs. I'm not too sure. We might have some in Trinidad, you know. I'm not too sure. I'll have to look it up. Right. So yes, that's good. All right, hands down. Moving on to the next one. Am I seeing everyone? Okay, so we're moving on to the next one now. All right, Shanice. All right, so Shanice first. So Shanice, what animal is this?
A rat.
All right, a rat. What song does it make?
Squeak, 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 squeak.
And where does it live?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Backyard.
All right, so in the backyard, where does it live in the backyard? It has a very specific place.
And junk.
In junk.
Maybe.
In rubbish.
Not really. You might see them there, but they don't really live there all the time. Anyone can tell me where rats live or mice?
In holes in the house.
Right. Okay. So yeah, they find little holes, right?
In the dump.
Well, even in the dump, where they live and sleep and stuff is in little holes, right? They find a little hole, they burrow into the ground, they burrow into your wall, they burrow into your ceiling and they go and they live there. All right. Okay, so hands down. All the hands down. All the hands down. Isandro, yes, you have a question for me?
I think a problem is that how some children have different reception times and they might get picked than usual, and it will be harder for them to be to get
That's
the
okay.
chance.
I'm paying attention. I know. Everyone will get a chance. Don't worry. Right? All right. So all your hands down. All your hands down. I'm still seeing hands up. All right. Liam, your hand's still up. All right. So we're going on to the next one. And all right. Okay. So I saw. Okay, I saw Malika and Matthias. Manswell. Yes.
That animal is a rabbit.
So, Robert.
Rabbit. Puppy. Mhm.
Rabbit.
That's on the
And
And it makes squeak, squeak, squeak.
shaking their head.
Where does it live?
It lives in a bowl.
All right, so anyone knows what sound a rabbit makes? A rabbit makes? Leila, yes?
No sound.
All right, yeah, they make a little tiny sound, but sometimes if they are in trouble, I've actually heard them make a loud sound if they are in some type of trouble, but they don't make a regular sound, right? Okay, so that's the rabbits. All right, hands down. All right, we're going. Shanice, that's still okay, good. Ooh, that one was quick, boy. All right, Isandro. Isandro. Yes, Isandro.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Noise it makes is kind of a growling, grunting type of sound.
You have to make the song to get a point, you know.
Something. So, and it lives in the forest.
And what? What it lives in the forest?
Lives in the burrow. And a cave.
A cave, right? All right. I'm seeing some other hands up. You'll have answers for me? Okay, it's gone now. All right, so hands down, we're moving on to the next one. Oh, Sana, yes, you have an answer for me?
The type of bear is a grizzly bear.
Yes, it's a grizzly bear. Very good. Okay, so hands down, hands down, hands down. Next one. Why Shanice's hand up? All right. Okay, so I saw Malachi and Matthias. Malachi and Matthias. Yeah, so their hands first. Yeah, hand the first. All right, so what animal is this?
A squirrel.
All right. And
The sound it makes is nothing.
nothing.
Squeak.
What else?
Squeak
Hmm?
sound. A squeak sound.
Where they live?
They live in trees or burrows.
Right, yes, they build some nest up in some tree. Sometimes they nest in your house, right? Well, not in Trinidad so much, but in other countries. This year is actually a black squirrel. We don't have black squirrels in Trinidad, but they're quite prominent in Canada, right? And they're everywhere, right? There are black and brown squirrels over there. All right, yes, Anna?
You know that they have another type of squirrel, which is a ground squirrel, and some of them live in deserts, and also they can come out in the heat.
All right, thank you for that. All right, so hands down. All the hands down. All right. Okay, so I saw the Alexanders first. Oh, they put their hand down. All right.
I know what it is. It's a raccoon.
It's a raccoon, right? And what else?
We don't really know the sound of the raccoon, but I know the raccoon. And
You see that?
what did you say?
You know where the raccoons live?
I know where they live. We can see they live behind. We can see it's by a tree.
By a tree, right?
They live in the, but I think they live in the forest a little bit.
All right. Okay, so yes, maybe in the forest, but most raccoons they tend to stick. They're more like scavengers, so they'll find little holes to live in and stuff, and they can be quite bothersome because they like to eat trash. We don't have raccoons in Trinidad. So, all right, so this is the last one for now. This is the last one for now because we want to move on to the sunbeam, right? So we want to move on. So you all ready? Hands down. All the hands down. Who didn't get a chance? Who didn't get a chance? Anyone? Who didn't get a chance? Everyone got a chance, right? Son, you didn't get a chance? I thought you did. Okay. All right. So let's give Sana a chance. This is Sana's zone here. All right. So what is this, Sana?
This is a kitten.
All right.
They make the sound meow. Sometimes they make a little squeaking sound, but then basically make the sound meow, meow, meow all the day. And some live in houses, some live in Africa,
All right.
and some live
Wild cats and their house cats, right? All right. So that was the name of the animal game. All right. And we're going to move back to the requirements. Oh boy. All right, hold on. Right. So, BZB, that basically would complete your award, right? All you have to do, and you could, as we move on to Sunbeam, you could probably do that now, right? And this is number 3. So you match the animal, right? The animal with their house, right? So you have a cow, you have a dog, a fish, a bee, a bear, right? You just match the animal with their house, and you would have completed your requirement there. Yes, I'm seeing a hand up.
Malaki already completed the match the 10 animals.
Excellent. Very good. Right? So Matthias, you completed this one yet? Number 3? All right, he probably having some difficulties. Okay, so so that will be the end. All right, and that'll be the end of the BZB book. All right, that'll be the end of the BZB book there. We would have completed everything once you all finish that, and we'll be done. All right, so great job as usual, and we moving over to the World of Nature, to the Sunbeam, the Friend of Nature Award. Now, the Friend of Nature Award, it is very is outside. It's mainly outside. So we don't have much to do in class today. I'm just going to run through the requirements for our Sunbeam sake. I think we only have that one Sunbeam here today. Any other Sunbeam? No? Other Sunbeam, right? All right, so Sana.
Yes, Mr.
Yes. So you will be doing your Friend of Nature Award. Right now, the thing is, most of it happens with when you do a nature walk, right? So requirement number 1 is take a nature walk and discover items of interest. Show or tell what you found and make these items into a collage or poster, right? And I know you have some nice greenery around your house, right? So you could probably take a walk to the park, or if you want to go out somewhere, that's fine as well. And you're going to find things of interest, right? When you make your collage, you could come back and show us it, right? If there are some leaves, if there are some stones or something, right? Right, that's your back rubbing.
Yeah.
Number 2 is the back rubbing, right? So very good. I would have given you all that a few weeks ago. All right, so you did 3 trees.
Yes.
Right. All right, so that's number 2. All right, so number 1 is you take the nature walk, discover the items of interest, and you make the collage, and then you can show and tell what you found, right?
I will.
And on your nature walk, you want to collect 4 different kinds of leaves and compare. So apart from the regular things you collect, you want to collect 4 different types of leaves, and you could compare them. And you could stick those on your collage as well. 4 different types of leaves, you stick that on your collage as well.
Good. Do you have to stick it in your book or normal paper?
So you make it separately on a little Bristol board, all right?
Yeah.
And you will, when you are finished and it dries and stuff, you can put it in your book, right? And we'll collect it. Right?
Okay.
So also on your nature walk, right? You want to go on a critter hunt, explore, observe with a magnifying glass all the things you can see in a 10 square foot area, or explore a yard or park and talk about what you see, and then you draw what you saw. So you go to your magnifying glass and you explore, you find little bugs, little ants, maybe a cricket, right? Maybe a worm or something like that. And then you draw what you saw. Right, that's number 4. All right. The other thing, visit one of the following: a zoo, park, wildlife area. All right, and you would have done those already. So you can tick number 5, right? Right. Other thing, write a thank you note to the people who took you to the place you visited in requirement number 5. Now, because we can't do that right now because of the pandemic, you can, whoever you go on your nature walk with, you can write your thank you note to them, right?
Yeah.
So it's a parent or something, you write your thank you note to them and you put that in your book. All right?
Yeah.
All right. So the last thing, number 7, right? And we're going to discuss, this one is for everyone. This one is for everyone. How to become a friend of nature, how to pick a flower when it is allowed, and how to protect trees, nests, etc. All right, so I'm going to ask you all, as adventurers, what do you do to be a friend of nature? All the adventurers out there, what do you do to be a friend of nature? So let me hear some answers. All right, we'll come back. We'll take Sana last. Since this is her requirement, we'll take her last. All right. Malachi Manswell. What do you do to be a friend of nature?
Be helpful and plant new crops.
You plant new crops? All right. Yeah, all right. Anyone else? What do you do to be a friend of nature? Samuel?
You take care of the crops,
Mm-hmm. Yes, right. To take care of those plants that you grow up, right? That you grow. Anyone else? How do you be a friend of nature? How to become a friend of nature? Matthias, yes?
Don't kill butterflies.
Oh, yes, that's a nice one. Don't kill butterflies, right? So, butterflies and dragonflies, right? Some people are very cruel to these flying insects, right? So, if you are scared of them, run away from them, all right? Leave them alone. You don't have to kill them, okay? All right. Number 2, anyone knows how to pick a flower when it's allowed? How do you pick a flower? What and how do you pick a flower? How do you safely pick a flower? They're asking. Anyone knows how to do that? Matthias? Yes?
You pick it carefully.
All right, you pick it carefully. All right. Any other answers?
From the root.
From
The root.
you pick it from the stem.
I'm hearing answers, but I'm not seeing. Oh, Shanice, yes. Go on. Pick
You
it from
pick
the.
it from the stem.
All right, pick it from the stem. Anyone else? All right, so yeah, you are correct. You carefully pick it and you ensure that you don't break the branch. You pick it at the base of the stem, right? So where the stem connects to the branch, right? You want to get it there. You don't want to break it halfway through or anything like that. And you need to be very careful. Samuel, you have another answer for me? Your hand is up? Oh, it's not up? Okay. All right, and last but not least, how to protect trees and nests, etc. So there, sometimes we come across some trees in nature that we have some nests on them, right? It may not be necessarily be a bird nest, right? There are other types of nests as well. How do you protect those trees and nests, etc.? Anyone?
Don't interfere with them.
Right, you leave them alone, right? Yes, Samuel?
Don't cut the trees down.
Don't cut them down, right? All right, so Sana, tell me, talk to me. How do you become a friend of nature?
Well, stay away from bees because if they sting you, they die. And the last flowers we get or trees we get.
Yes. All right. Okay, so in nature, right, when we go out into nature, remember we are living in nature, right? We might have our houses and maybe drive around in our cars, etc., build roads, but at the end of the day, we still live in nature, right? And a lot of times we clear the natural environment to make homes for ourselves, right? And I mean, sometimes it's necessary, but you always want to ensure that areas that are set up to just be nature, or natural, right? Natural environments, you want to be as careful as possible, right? So some things I didn't hear, right? Fires. Don't set fires at all, ever, right? Especially out in the grass, right? I know some people like to go and, they take a lighter or they take some matches and they run outside and they want to start a fire. Please don't do that, right? Another thing I didn't hear, littering. When you are out in nature, do not litter. Do not litter, right? Any plastics or bottles or wrappers, paper, anything that you may have, put it in your bag and carry it back. Don't litter at all, ever, right? Also, littering on the ground or in the forest or something like that is bad. You also especially don't want to litter out in the sea, right? Because fish, they love to eat things that are shiny or those plastic bags and stuff. Some fish, they tend to eat it and then they die, right? So you want to avoid littering as much, well, avoid it on the whole, all right? Right, so we spoke about picking a flower, and sometimes, right, when you are taking care of your plants or taking care of your trees, right, you have to also watch out for parasites, right, when you are taking care of them, because even though parasites are naturally, they grow naturally, sometimes they can kill the fruit trees. Maybe you have coconut trees, probably you have mango, orange trees, right? You want to ensure that those any vines or any type of parasite, etc., you take them off, right? You take them off to ensure that that it doesn't damage them in any way. All right. And nests, so bird nests, even bee nests or wasp nests, right? Or jack spaniels, we call them sometimes, right? Please don't interfere with them, right? If it's in a place that is causing that you fear you may get stung or something, call someone, right? There are people set up to deal with these things, all right? So avoid them as much as possible. Look out, right? If you come across animals that you think might be dangerous, I think we would have dealt with this already, but snakes or scorpions, centipedes, etc., run away, right? Run away as fast as you can, but try not to interact with them. Try not to run them, chase them away, or kill them or anything like that. Just leave them alone. All right, and that's some lessons that you can take moving forward, right? I know we haven't been out in nature for a while. I wish we could have done beach cleanup or something, to give you all a little experience, right? I think most of you will have done it, but it's nice being out there. You see the man-o-wars and jellyfish, etc. All right. So as when we get back into nature and stuff, we want to, of course, be careful, right, on how you interact with it. And remember that all these things are God's creation, and He will have placed them there for us to enjoy, right? And apart from enjoying, we need to take care of them. Okay? All right, so that brings us to the end of our class today, and by extension, the end of the book, right? I think the builders have a nature-based award to do. Right, apart from, right, yes, so we have one additional award to do. We have a few awards coming up, right, because it's just mid-year, so we have a lot more time. So we have awards, we have arts and crafts, we have other things coming up, so stay tuned. But one of the next award that we'll be doing is a nature-based award, and we'll let you all know what we'll be doing in a little while, all right? Leila, you have a question for me?
So yes, with Malachi, he's finished with the book, but he still has more things in the middle to do.
So he would have skipped out some and came back.
Yes.
All right. So the YouTube channel, right? Tell your mommy and daddy that the YouTube channel has all the previous classes, right? The only ones that weren't uploaded was the last two classes that we did. That is the visit from the Moral Club and the start of My World, right? So you could go to the YouTube channel and there will be all the previous classes that we would have done, and he can view them. All the classes that you would have missed, you can view them and catch up, right, up to scratch. Also, we'll have a few recap classes where we'll be running through the activity book, making sure everybody on the same page with it, right? So no worries, no worries.
Okay.
And of course, your parents can always reach out to me or Auntie Hester for any
And I
information.
also have some things to do.
Yes, right? So you could always reach out, that's no problem, right? Okay, so that is the end of our class today. All right, thank you for coming out as usual. All right. Auntie Hester, anything you want to inform anyone about?
No.
No?
No. You say everything already.
All right, great.
Mm.
All right, so let's well, parents, if you all are close by, right? I will send out the new recording. I had posted a recording of Leila doing her song, right? Well, doing the song, her part of the song, right? I posted that, so I hope you all would have been practicing. All the children, you all would have been practicing.
We
Right.
saw the track.
Right, yes. So we lowered the key because I know some of y'all, it was a little high for y'all. So I would have lowered it, and as Leila will be doing it over, right? So when she does it over, I'll send that to y'all, right? But once you know the words and stuff, it's not a problem, right? So I'll send it to your or your parents, right? And all you have to do is, well, I'll give you a little time to practice, and then we'll be recording that this week, right? We'll be recording that this week, and that'll be the final part for our uniform day, right? So look out for that. And yeah, someone is saying something.
This week or next week?
This week, during this week. Our uniform day is next week, but I'll be sending out the songs for y'all to do the song for y'all to do your recordings this week, right?
Okay.
Okay, so I think that's about it. All right, so let's do our closing activities before we pray to close. Who did the pledge, law, and song to start off? Who did pledge, law, and song to start off? Sana, you did one?
I did the song.
The song. Anyone? Any volunteers who didn't do it before? Well, I see Nathaniel just came in there. So Nathaniel, you want to do the pledge for us? Nathaniel, you do the pledge for us? Malachi,
Yes,
well,
I will.
you will do the law for us. And who could do the song for us?
Me. I was here already. Manuel. Morgan Manuel.
But so you'll do the song for
I
us?
want to do the song.
Hold on, everybody. All right. Okay, so I'll let Malachi Alexander do the song this time, and Matthias, you will do the song next time to start off. All right. Okay, so attention. Let's go.
One.
He doesn't move.
All right, so we are going with the pledge. Daniel?
Because Jesus loves me, I will always do my best.
All right, but you need to tell us to do something first.
Arms, next time.
For the arms, present arms.
Okay, go ahead.
Because Jesus loves me, I will always do my best. For the arm.
Right? No?
That's for the finals.
Next time. No. Yeah.
Jesus can help me to be obedient, be pure, be true, be kind,
Be respectful, be attentive, be helpful, be cheerful, be thoughtful, be reverent.
Thank you. All right, song.
And your song,
Sing it.
3, 4. We have insurance at home. We
every day. To be honest, to be like Jesus, to run
home and school I play. We are adventurous. Learning every day. We are the through and through. We are
Okay, so pay attention everywhere.
Attention, like this.
Attention everywhere. Let's close the pray.
No, right over left. Right hand over left. Right hand over left. Right hand.
Let's bow. Again, Loving Father, thank you for another successful club meeting. Thank you for what came out here, Lord. Thank you for all that you have blessed us with and all the information that you have blessed us with, Lord. I pray that as we go into another week, that we will spend it with you, and everything that we have learned in our meeting today, we'll be able to put it into practice. And help us to always remember to put you first in all that we say and do. Help us to remember all the principles that we learn in the Adventure Club, so we can teach someone about it and teach someone about you. Help us, bless us, and always keep us in your care, Lord, and help us to remember doing everything that we say and do is my prayer in Jesus' name. Amen. All right. Okay, so thanks again. All right, and I believe, yes, we have class next week, right? We'll have class next week, and we'll let you all know
I
exactly.
need something that smells like juicy guava.
Oh, and we'll tell you all exactly what we are doing. All right, so look out for that. And just